Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Wendy Yee.
And today we're reviewing, again, a game called Waddle.
Penguins!
I only say that because I've already reviewed a game called Waddle like 8 years ago or something.
Well, there's
Very
Waddle,
different game.
There's Waddle, isn't there? Isn't that a game?
And this is a...
Yeah, there's also his Waddle.
Yes.
That's true. And this is also an all-play reprinting of an earlier game from designer Corné van Moorsel. So... yeah, you might have actually reviewed the original one.
And visually, I feel like it looks like that. Hey, that's my fish.
No, I reviewed
but it's
a
not.
different game called Waddle is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, but I'm also saying this is a reprint of a much older game. But
well, no, this is actually the first time I played this one.
Okay, I also doubt that many people have played the original.
Yeah, so this game, the initial attraction is, hey, there's marbles rolling down chutes. Sort of. Let me show you. In this game, players are going to get a pile of penguins of their color. You'll get 2 double penguins, and the rest are single. You then build the map, and the map is made up of pieces, and you look at the back of the pieces because some of them will only be used, for example, this one, in a 5-player game. But you can build the map any way you want, as long as everything is connected to each other. You'll put an active tile token on the number 1, and then you'll have marbles set up over here, like this. This is for the different players in the game. And I'm showing you an example of a 5-player game. So then the game begins. On a player's turn, we start at the bottom marble. Red can either put one of their penguins next to one of the hexes, next to number 1 here, for example. So let's say red places here. I then put red at the top. Yellow decides that they also would like to be next to number 1 over there. So then yellow moves to the top. Green does the same thing. Green decides to place one of their double penguins here. Now, the next player, purple, wants to scout ahead. They're thinking about number 2 down here. So purple moves to the other track. And orange also scouts ahead, going to the other track. Red says, nah, I think I'll scout ahead. So they go to the other track. Yellow, they also want to scout ahead and go to the other track. Since green is the only one left, green has to put penguins next to all the empty spots that are next to number 1, if there are any. Then they move to the other track. We now move the active thing down to number 2. And we're going to do that. Now, sometimes all the tiles next to a number might be covered up because they've been next to other ones. So then you would skip to the next number. And if there's no number to move to, then every spot on the board will have a penguin on. And that's the end of the game. Now, why are you doing all this? Well, you're doing it for 2 reasons. At the end of the game, you're going to look at each lake. That's these interconnected water spaces. So this lake, for example, has a fish in it that's worth 5. The most penguins next to this list is going to get 5 points. This one has 3 fish in it, a 6, a 3, and a 4. So the most fish next to it penguins next to it gets a 6. The second most penguins next to it gets a 4, and the third most gets a 3. You're also going to score for waddles. Hey, that's what the name of the game is. You'll look at a group of penguins of your color and count them and get points equal to this chart here. 8 is the most you can get unless you're playing a 2-player game, and you'll get 36 points for that. And so you'll add up all your waddles next to all the different fishing pools that are out there, and whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. I'm going to jump in by saying I like the game a lot. And I'm attracted to it for many reasons. But one of those reasons is not the marbles. The marble thing is okay.
I feel like the marble thing is so minor. Like, just a tiny little piece on the side. This is not like Golem where you're dropping a bunch of marbles into a game.
I'll go ahead. I really like it because it uses gravity to keep track of the player order. Because without that, the original version of this, which was the title of it was Gypsy King, was you had these wood blocks that you had to like rearrange and push forward, and then when you jumped to the other side, you had to, just a little more of that question of like which side's the front of the turn order line. No question about turn order in this.
I agree. It's very functional. It's just that I was like, ooh, marbles. And then we started playing, and I was like, okay, anyway.
It's just a turn order.
It just has nothing to do with my liking of the game is what I mean.
That's fair. And these marbles look like candy. I thought they were gobstoppers when I opened the box. I was very worried about it. So be careful if you have small children.
You should never.
Or if your name is Willy Wonka.
Yes.
Anyway.
So I was really attracted to this because I love penguins, and this cover is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
like,
it's really
that
nice.
is very beautiful. I would hang that on my wall.
Danielle Profiri and Anka Gavriel did the art for this. This game has a pretty good, there's a lot of times where they when you get a game and they're like, randomize the board, and you're like, and there the board is randomized. Also, who cares? This one, it really matters.
A ton. Yeah.
I'm really impressed by that.
This game is all about thinking ahead. It's about thinking ahead to decide how far ahead do I want to be first in turn order so that I can catch up. It's a lot. It's a lot to think about.
But you can always be first if you really want to. You'll be like, I will scout. And then on that turn, I will also scout.
Yeah.
And I'll scout till I get next to that 5 where I really want to be.
I may have done that.
Yeah, you might.
And then lost a game.
Fairly skip. Yeah, like 3 and 4 rounds, 2, 3, and 4 to make sure to be first in 5 because it really matters. And it's not just a start of the game, read the board situation. I can just mathematicize this, win in 5 moves. It's based on how players play out. You're like, ooh, I really want to connect these 2 separate groups of my penguins. I'm going to need to pass early for a few rounds to make sure that I connect this group of 4 to this group of 4 by the time round 13 comes around. And so it's not just read the board state at the beginning, but also as it develops, you say, ooh, that's some good decision making to do.
That was something that I think tripped me up my very first game, was that I was so focused on being first at the right moments for the pawns that I lost track of the idea that you just need penguins everywhere.
We're making this game sound huge. It's really not, though. It's a pretty quick game.
It is. It's a quick game, but I think for me, the mental load up front of just being like, oh my gosh, I need to read all the board at the beginning, but then I also, every time someone places out something, I need to reread everything. It was a bit much for me for how small of a game. And honestly, you can just fly by the seat of your pants. You don't have to overthink it, but
yeah,
I want to overthink it, and therefore I think it was a little bit much for me.
Yeah, I didn't run into that. I mean, yes, I can see that if you're sitting there trying to spatialize the whole thing. I just look ahead and be like, I'd like to be first this time. Let's see what happens. And I think they did a good job weighting the how points are, how many points a Waddle is compared to the points of the pond. Because I've definitely tried to be Waddle heavy, good term, and lost. Mm-hmm. You ignoring the pawns at your peril, but like you said, you just went for pawns, and that also doesn't work. So you kind of got to do both.
Or you're saying ponds with a D. I think you meant pawn, P-A-W-N-S.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
The lake scoring, it's called.
I steal your fish to steal more fish.
I agree.
There's a lot of penguin games out there. Mm-hmm. You said you liked it because of penguins. There's so many penguin games out there. There's a dime a dozen, in my opinion.
Well, and the beautiful cover.
Well, sure. But I'm impressed by just how quickly this game sets up. You just go, there's our board. You don't have to think about it. And then you study what you built, almost like a puzzle. But then you're playing it. And when to use your double penguins is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But there's not a whole lot more to the game than that. But I think bang for buck, this is a pretty solid thing. Like you said, it was too much. But I think there's a lot in here.
Yeah.
Can't even close the lid properly. But what would you give it?
So I'm going to give this a 6. This is one that if someone asked me to play, I'd say, sure, I'll play it. But I'm never going to go out of my way because it does just stretch me in the ways that I don't necessarily love, and that's okay. But I do think it's absolutely beautiful and gorgeous. And I think that, like what you said, Tom, I think it is a good balanced game. I think that there's a lot to it, and you can take it chess levels of extreme, or you can just kind of flow with it and see what happens.
Yeah, but it's also a game that has a little mini marble track. And so, I don't know.
Are you feeling bad we're not talking about the marbles, Chris?
Instantly 2 points higher.
I think it does a nice job of just disarming me so I don't sit there and go, this is a chess-like game. Whee! Okay, I'm next. And so for me, score-wise, I'm coming in quite a bit higher. I'm giving this one an 8. I think what you said, Tom, bang for buck, not just monetary buck, but also rules overhead and just the upkeep of it. It's very smooth. It's a very simple game. Place a penguin or pass to the other side. Fantastic. So yeah, I really like the amount of variability from the setups. Having a setup where the last time I played, I hadn't seen this before, but 4 numbers in a row, later numbers, got completely surrounded because of the way that earlier numbers were set up. So we skipped from round 8 to all of a sudden, lake 8 to lake 14. And all of us went, ooh, wasn't ready for that. There's cool surprises in here. I like it, and I like penguins.
Yeah, and penguins are cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still want to go to Antarctica just to be with penguins. But I just like the variability and how much it really affects the game. I like looking ahead. I don't need to look the whole game, but also it's not a long game. So the idea of skipping your turn for turn order, I think, is very well done. Yeah, so I'm giving it an 8 also. This is just a really enjoyable game. Really good bang for the buck. The marbles, it works. The scoring is easy. The components, it looks pretty when you put out the whole thing on the table. It's fast, but I feel like you're making really solid decisions. So that is Waddle.
And I always want to be the penguins that are flying on their stomachs because they look like they're having so much fun.
That's a nice colorblind friendly thing too.
That's true.
I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Wendy Yee.
All right, we'll see you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.